If Jesus were a voter in Iowa, who do you think he'd vote for in this next election?
I'm praying that Jesus would vote for Trump.
This delusional member of the MAGA cult thinks that Donald Trump is a good representative of Christian values and the teachings of Jesus. Take a look.
Because, more recently, I don't think Trump was a really strong believer when he entered the race in 2016 or 15, whenever. I really see his life is changing, and now when he speaks, he points people in the direction of God, and that, hey, he's not the answer, but Jesus is the answer.
And President Biden goes to church every Sunday, right?
That's not what's important. It's your personal relationship with Jesus. If he's not living a life for Christ and following Christ, really following Christ's principles, then the fact that he's going to church every week means nothing.
I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. According to that woman, Donald Trump became more of a Christian man during his 4 years of the presidency and beyond that, despite the fact that he said this last week.
It's crazy what's going on. They're ruining our country. And it's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way. No, they're coming from all over the world, people all over the world. We have no idea. They could be healthy. They could be very unhealthy. They could bring in disease that's going to catch on in our country, but they do bring in crime. But they have them coming from all over the world.
Ah, yes, because if there's one thing that Jesus taught us, it's love thy neighbor, but hate immigrants. The Son of God himself would descend from heaven to cast a vote in an American election for the man who quotes Adolf Hitler in his speeches. A man who says the Bible is his favorite book, but very obviously hasn't read a single page of it.
Okay. You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. When I talk about the Bible, it's very personal. So I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into...
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite?
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible... The whole Bible is an incredible... I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time.
Not only could he not name a single Bible verse that he likes, he couldn't even say which testament is his favorite. Because, as we know, people who are not members of his insane cult of personality, that he hasn't read a single page of the Bible. The closest he got to a Bible was when he was sworn in on one. But his obvious lack of knowledge of the Bible and his policies which stand in opposition to the actual doctrine of Christianity do not deter his followers from citing Christianity as their reason for supporting him.
If Jesus were an Iowa voter, who do you think Jesus would vote for?
No, Trump for sure.
Yeah, definitely Trump.
Personally, I think he would vote for Trump. I think Jesus, I know God. He wants people to do what they believe in, and I always believe that's what Trump wants people for, too.
If Jesus was an Iowa voter, who do you think he would choose?
Man, I really think he would choose Trump because I think Trump's for Christianity, and he shows that, the abortion. And, another thing is just looking at what's happening around the world, with the transgenders and all this, what they're pushing on kids is terrible. They're talking about changing their genders and injecting them with hormones when they change their gender at a very young age. And, I can't even, I'm 18 years old. I can't legally drink a beer. And these 12-year-olds can change their gender. I think that's pretty.
They think that Jesus would vote for Donald Trump because bigotedness is next to godliness. Jesus spent his free time hanging out with lepers and prostitutes, but surely he would draw the line at transgender people. Jesus would cast his ballot for the candidate who treats his fellow man as cruelly and inhumanely as possible. That is what Jesus represents to the average Trump supporter. But let's be honest, another reason why conservatives don't care that Trump isn't familiar with the Bible is because they too are not familiar with the Bible.
I think the Bible should be taught in schools.
Yes.
Yeah?
Most definitely. Because children have gotten away from that. Because they have. And it needs to be put back in all the schools, Catholic schools and public schools.
So you want the Bible back in school. Do you think there are books that should be banned from schools?
Yeah, of course.
There is a book that has a story of two daughters getting their father drunk and having sex with them. Would you want that in a school?
No, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
No.
Of course.
No.
That's outrageous.
That's the devil's work. We don't want the devil's work in school.
All right, well, there you have it. Talk to some people who want the Bible taught in school, but also want the Bible banned in school.
And hypocrisy is the name of the game when it comes to conservative Christians. Because the Bible doesn't say a damn thing about abortion. Doesn't say anything about gay marriage. Doesn't say anything about being transgender. And it definitely doesn't tell you to despise immigrants and treat the former president of the United States like he's God. Justifying support for Donald Trump with their Christianity is just a ruse. What do they actually like about the man? They like that he's just as bigoted as they are. And it's sad and dangerous, but that appeal is real in this country, and it's imperative that we prevent him from becoming president in 2024.